Okay, so let's move on. So now it's up to me. I get to demo the new directory to you. So the directory I'm personally quite excited about. I know that's good and bad. It depends how excited you are about directories. I mean, they're kind of a bit sad because staff directories, how exciting can they be? But on the other hand, I'm pretty excited about the features that we've been able to put into our new directory template. So let me walk you through them. So the first thing is the directory template enables you to quickly find key people and key resources in your organization and also learn about other people quite quickly. The key features are we offer an org chart, which I'm going to demo to you. You have office information, including travel information, and some really cool integrations, which I'll show you in a second. We've got facilities and meeting rooms associated with each office. This has been a huge feature that's been massively requested because it's just really hard to stay on top of what facilities does each meeting room have. We have the ability for you to include an internal company events feed, which can be really useful for kind of sharing social events and training. And this can be filtered down by office. It could even be filtered down to floor or particular departments, as well as office if you had a really, really large kind of main office. You can connect to people via email, phone, which is a standard feature that Fliplet's had for a long time. You can also use third-party tools like Teams or Jabber. And one of my favorite features is you can actually personalize this. So you can create contact lists for projects, for events, for social activities, and I'm going to demo this to you. So let's dive into a demo. So I need to just jump out of there and jump into Studio. So here is the directory view. So this is kind of a fairly standard directory. You can see we've incorporated a couple of additional icons. We've turned on the sort feature, and the search feature works as it usually does. I'm going to pull up Frederick because he's been one of our main test users. So here's Frederick. As you can see here, Frederick is currently on vacation. We have the ability for you to track statuses, and I'll come back to these in a second. So Frederick has lots of information. You've got information, take you to his bio link on the website. You can chat with him through Jabber or Teams. You can call and email, and you've got these tabs. I'll explain these tabs in a second. So as you can see going down, we've got lots of information. I can click here to go to and find out who else is in the office. I can click here to see who else is in this country. I can see his current time, which is 1 hour off my current time. So he must be in continental Europe or Ireland. Depending on my maths. You can see Amory is Frederick's secretary. You can see that Jane, John, who looks a lot like Frederick, Sarah, all report to him. And you can see Artie is his manager. You can see when he became a partner and when he became a summer associate. Interesting enough, he became a partner before he became a summer associate. And you can see a list of my status information in this accordion to keep the list small, unless you really want to know. And then you can see that Frederick's on vacation currently and is just on vacation for today. So that's useful. So I'll know, don't call him today, call him tomorrow. Okay, so you've also got about information. We put the key contact information on a contact tab to keep the amount of scrolling to a minimum. We put the about information, which we think is what people want to find out about somebody when they're learning about someone new, but they don't need to see this information all the time. If I sit next to Frederick, I don't need to know about him every day. So we put it in an about tab. You can also see that I can expand recent projects. I can expand his educational information. And then I can go to private. So private is all of the sensitive information that is controlled and only available to certain people in the organization. And all of this is controlled with a new feature we've added called security rules, which I'm going to show you in a second. But before I do, let's just quickly dive into, and keep in mind, we're still building this, it's in beta, but let me dive into what it looks like on computer. So if I just refresh this screen, I have a feeling we've got a little bit of a bug with this bar being too big, but let's see if it affects us. Trust me, it will be nice and a single line by the time you guys get access to it. You'll notice up here that we've put in a more standardized top nav. We heard feedback from people that the navigation options that Fliplet's web apps offered were just a little bit too weird, and they wanted something a bit more normal. So we've taken our menu that would usually sit along the bottom, popped it at the top, tweaked it around a little bit, made it look look a little bit more optimized for computer. You can see down here you've got 2 columns of people. You can also filter, and as I apply these filters, it updates in real time, just like the directory normally does. So you can now kind of turn these on and off as you go. And of course, you've got search and things like this. You can also bookmark, which is a standard feature. And then if I click through to Frederick, I can see that I now get like a 2-column layout. So the information looks, it kind of maximizes the screen space that I've got on my computer. I can see it a lot better. I get a really big image, but it's over on the left. And I can still access all the other features. So let's talk about org chart. Org chart is a new feature that enables you to, well, see the org chart. And I think it looks pretty good. It not only looks good on computer, but I can also switch over and look at it really effectively on mobile. It also enables me to drill down. So if I come up here and I click on Artie, I can then see Artie, I can see Amory, I can see Frederick again, and I can see everybody else who reports into Artie. I can also scroll down and see everybody who reports into Amory who's been selected, and you can see there's 8 people there. I can then click on Vanessa, who has 7 reports. So I'm going to click on Vanessa, and here we go. So I can now see Vanessa reports into Amory. I can see everybody who is at the same level as Vanessa, who I was just browsing, and I can now see everybody who reports into Vanessa, such as Jimmy here, who has 12 direct reports. So anyway, I can just keep drilling down and down and down. This is a really exciting feature. And not only that, you can fully brand it. So you can make this look like it's on brand for your organization. So you can make it look really good as well. Okay, now let's jump back, because I now want to go back to Frederick. So I'm going to go back to Frederick quickly, and I'm going to show you some other features. I'm just going to dive into, so down the bottom here, you've got a number of options, and you can configure statuses here, which is pretty simple. You just create a status, set a start and end date. You can have multiple statuses occurring at the same time. You can also set the duration, like when a status occurs inside a day. So for example, every afternoon this week I'm out. That information can be presented, but only during the hours that you're out. We've got the events feed, we've got notification, you've got your profile, recent hires, the ability to log out, admin options if you're an admin user. But let's have a look at offices. So we've only got a couple of offices in here. There's nothing special about this office search. It's very similar to the office search that you guys might have seen in our ROMs app. If I go into New York, it gets a little bit more interesting. So I can see the meeting rooms, I can see the key contacts. This enables me to go back to the directory. I can request an Uber, which takes me directly to the right drop-off point. And if you don't like Uber or you want more options, we can also support Lyft as well, and potentially any other services, ride-sharing services. This was originally requested by a US law firm who basically said, look, if you can make it easier to get rides from one like the local airport to the door, particularly for people who haven't done that trip before, that would be amazing. Turns out it's surprisingly easy to integrate with. You can also see the floor plan. You can see the current temperature. You can see the local time, and you can see other relevant details. Let's have a look at some meeting rooms. So here are the meeting rooms that are available, and I can click on them and I can see some information about them. I can also search and filter by where they are, what floor they're on. So if you've got 50 different meeting rooms across your large New York office, but you're only interested in the ones that are on the floor, or your floor or the floor above you, you can filter to that floor. Also, meeting rooms can have facilities, and you can again filter on these. So you can see here, this has an electric whiteboard. I love electric whiteboards. Maybe this is the reason why I'm going to try to book this meeting room. So, so it has some really, really exciting features, and all of these are configurable via the admin screen. Let's go back to the directory. Let's kind of quickly look up Frederick again. Oh, I actually think I'm on the wrong version of this screen. Oh, there we go. There's Frederick. Okay, cool. So, so my name's Ian, as you may know, and I've been working with Frederick recently on a project. And you know what? I keep having to find his details. I keep having to try to get in touch with him. So rather than just keep running search after search after search, what I can do is I can put him on my important people list, or I can create a new list called Soccer Buddies. And I can either make this a private list, or make it so that anybody I add can also modify it, meaning I'm not the person who has to maintain the list. Anybody on the list can maintain it. Kind of similar to like WhatsApp groups and things like this, if you were to make everybody else an admin. Now, this is not information shared globally across your organization. This is only relevant to the people who want this list. So I can do save and add. There we go. I've now added Frederick into my soccer buddies list. So let's go and have a look at my soccer buddies list. So I go to my lists. You can see here I've got important people, and these are the important people. And then I can go to soccer buddies, and there's Frederick. If I want to add somebody else, I can just go back, look them up in the directory, add them to the list as well. But what I can also do is I can go into a list, five-a-side football. Oh, Frederick's very popular. Chess club. Hopefully this has a few more. No, okay. Going back to important people then. So in important people, what I can do is, let's say Fidelia has left my important people list. I don't know why, but all I do is I go in here and I can say, oh, actually, Fidelia, I'm just going to remove you off that list. And now Fidelia is no longer on this list. So when I come back into this list, Fidelia is gone. And I can just add and remove people. So there's some really exciting personalization features that we've incorporated, not only statuses that enable you to transfer information about what you're doing to other people to help them make better decisions before they call, before they email, before they chat with you, but we've also added in lists so that instead of your directory being a sprawling, huge flat list, which you then have to copy information out into a document in order to kind of track who's on this project, or who am I playing soccer with this week. Actually, you can now just build your own contact list directly into the app, and the contact list will follow you around. So I can build them on my phone and access them on my computer, or vice versa. And then finally, let me show you an admin feature. So we've added in this feature called security rules. So basically a security rule, sorry about this white bar, is a rule that controls what sensitive information somebody can see. So once you've told the app what fields are sensitive, you can then assign specific rules about who can access them. So the way you do this is you pick a field and you say equals. And so actually that's a bad example. So let's say that basically this rule applies to everybody who is a partner. I add the criteria. You see it appears there. I can add as many criteria as I want. Then I say, all right, I want partners to be able to see all emergency contact information for everybody, but only partners. If you're not a partner, you should not be able to see emergency contact information. And who can they see? So here I might say, well, the title is equals, and I might say they can see the emergency contact information for everyone that has associate in their title. So, and now I click save rule. And what this does is it enables the security system to now, when a partner looks up an associate, it will automatically return their emergency contact information. And this feature, as I mentioned earlier, is using app actions or actions in Fliplet. And so what this screen does is basically enables you to test the action works. So you put in the name of the rule you're testing, who you're executing as. So in this case, I might enter a partner's email address, and then I might enter an associate's email address and click show result. And it would then return, as if I was that user accessing that result, it would then return and say, hey, here's the information that I found processing this security rule. Is this correct? And if it's wrong, you can go and fix it. So we've built in a little test harness as well. So I think I've covered everything that I needed to cover in the directory demo now, highlighting some really exciting new features that we've built in, and additional features that I wasn't able to demo. So SSO, I've already kind of covered that it supports web and mobile. You'll also be able to link directly into specific searches or specific profiles from other sites. So this is really exciting, because if you're going to embed the web version into your intranet, for example, and other pages on your intranet need to link to, say, a specific list of everybody who's in the specific practice or a particular department, you can do that as well. So it links nicely, particularly in the website, into other sites. And then you've also got the beta is available now, so get in touch with the customer success team or your account manager if you'd like the beta. And then the final version will be due in October.